Let's quickly go through the numbers. Total cases across the country now. COVID-19 stands at 85,940. The death toll in the country has now risen to 2,752. Worst hit states include Maharashtra, with the total cases now at 29,100. The death toll in Maharashtra stands at 1,068. Tamil Nadu, we're seeing a total cases 10,108 cases on the whole reported, with the death toll standing at 71. Gujarat, we're looking at total cases now at 9,931, with the death toll in Gujarat at 606. These numbers as of May 17th, 6:30 a.m. Let's quickly take you through the top 5 developments of coronavirus across of India. The Punjab government has announced that curfew will be lifted from across of the state, but the lockdown will continue. Chief Minister Amrinder Singh's government in the state has decided to extend the lockdown until 31st of May. The Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi creates a special task force in Uttar Pradesh to help migrant workers. Congress claims that they are sending back labourers back to their home and even helping them with their stay. The lockdown administration has received more than 18 crore and 51 lakh rupees through challans during this lockdown. Police have fined more than 10 lakh vehicles during this lockdown period. At least 700 super spreaders were found coronavirus positive in Ahmedabad in a massive screening of vegetable sellers and shopkeepers conducted in a week after officials had ordered closure of shops. Ahmedabad has over 8,000 coronavirus cases so far. Eleven more persons have tested positive for COVID-19 in Tripura. 7 of the new cases were found among BSF jawans, over 150 of whom were already tested positive with the virus. 4 civilians who returned to Tripura from Guwahati in Assam also tested positive. Now, as the third phase of the lockdown is scheduled to end today, the centre is expected to spell out new rules for the next spell of lockdown starting tomorrow. Sources say that the lockdown will likely be extended by another 2 weeks. Auto, buses, cabs are likely to be allowed to ply in non-containment zones. Delivery of non-essentials in non-containment zones may also be allowed. The definition of a red zone will likely be changed as well. Offices and factories could see more people being allowed. Government could also allow airline companies to resume operations of domestic flights in green zones. The centre has identified 30 municipal areas which account for 80% of the COVID cases across the country. Strict lockdown is likely to continue in these areas. Now, the centre in its new guidelines for lockdown 4.0 is likely to address the issue of migrant crisis as well. Sources told India Today that new norms could put onus on the district collectors to help migrants go home. For this, district magistrates will be empowered under the Disaster Management Act. The centre is also likely to direct states to ensure that migrants are not allowed to walk if they have to go home. Centre may also increase the number of Shramik special trains to ferry these migrants stranded. Now, another grim reminder of the plight of migrants during the lockdown. 25 migrants died in an accident in UP's Auraya when they were trying to make their way back home. The UP government has suspended 2 police officers after this incident, and the PMO has announced 2 lakh each for the next of kin of those who've lost their lives from the PM's National Relief Fund. Here's our report.
The journey of migrants desperate to get home ended tragically in Uttar Pradesh's Auraya district after the trailer truck they were on collided with the van in the early hours of Saturday. More than 20 migrant labourers lost their lives. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief at the loss of life. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath announced ₹2 lakh ex gratia for the kin of those who had died, even as he ordered a probe and suspended 2 cops.
मैं मानता हूं कि बहुत दुखद और दर्दनाक घटना है। मैं श्रमिकों से बार बार अपील करूंगा, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी भी अपील कर रहे हैं कि संयम रखें और उनके यथास्थान पर पहुंचाने की पूरी व्यवस्था सरकार कर रही है। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने संज्ञान में लेते हुए त्वरित कार्रवाई की है।
In Madhya Pradesh, 6 migrant workers were killed and 16 others injured when the truck they were on overturned in Sagar district. The workers had left Maharashtra and were on their way to homes in Uttar Pradesh.
थाना प्रभारी अपने बल के साथ पहुंच गए थे और साथ ही बक्सवाहा से भी टीआई आ गए थे और सभी ने मिलकर ये गाड़ी पलट गई थी, इसको सीधा कराया और मजदूरों को इलाज के लिए सीएससी बंडा भिजवाया।
In yet another accident involving workers migrating back to their villages, one man was killed when a truck with 50 migrant workers from Hyderabad to Uttar Pradesh's Gorakhpur met with an accident in Telangana. The deaths on the road came even as the centre ordered states to stop migrants travelling on trucks or walking. It said it was the responsibility of states to see that they can get onto Shramik trains or state-run buses. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, students from 10 different colleges of Bengaluru came together to provide for over 30,000 odd migrants who were hauled up at palace grounds as they waited for special trains to ferry them. These migrants had nowhere to go. They were largely stationed at palace grounds. In fact, what was worse is most of these migrants were working in the hospitality sector in Bangalore and were recently laid off due to business closure. About 13 odd students coordinated their efforts for about a week to ensure that not a single one of them who were around the vicinity there went hungry. The Bangalore student community have taken the initiative to distribute water, biscuits, bananas, buttermilk, food items, whatnot. It's indeed heartwarming to see these young students, despite the overwhelming situation at hand, to go out of their way to ensure help to these migrants in the sweltering heat. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is all set to announce measures for the 5th tranche of stimulus. This will be the 5th such briefing for the 5th straight day. All a part of the government's 20 lakh crore economic package to boost the coronavirus hit economy. This time, the press meet is scheduled at 11 a.m. and the major focus is set to be the hospitality industry. Currently the worst hit by the pandemic, Finance Minister just yesterday focused majorly on big structural reforms to reset India's economy. Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday announced that the government will end its monopoly in coal sector and will allow commercial mining in defence sector. The government has increased the FDI limit from 49% to 74%.
The 4th tranche of the Narendra Modi government's stimulus package was all about structural reforms. Ending the coal monopoly of the government, the centre allowed commercial mining in coal sector and announced rupees 50,000 crore for coal evacuation infrastructure.
Commercial mining of coal on a revenue sharing basis would help more coal availability and also more coal availability at market prices. 50,000 crores will be spent by Government of India for creating evacuation infrastructure.
In the defence sector, the government has made a significant announcement. The FDI limit in defence sector has been raised from 49% to 74%, and this could be a game changer for our forces. The finance minister also banned the imports of some weapons to reduce the country's defence import bill. The government's focus is Swadeshi weapons for our forces.
FDI limits are being raised from 49% to 74%. Of course, it will have the security clearances and everything else. We'll also have a mechanism established so that time-bound defense procurement processes happen. A realistic setting for the general staff qualitative requirements, the GSQRs as they're known, of weapons and platforms will be made.
The finance minister said 6 more airports will be optioned and 13,000 crore rupees will be invested in 12 airports.
6 more airports are for auction, and the Airports Authority of India shall do it on public-private basis. Additional investments also are likely to happen by private players in about 12 airports, which they are already holding. The first and second rounds of investments are expected to get 13,000 crores.
Nirmala Sitharaman also announced the opening of the space sector to private players, a massive move that will transform our space journey.
In order to provide level playing field for private companies, satellite launches and space-based services, we will make a provision for them to benefit from the assets which are available with the ISRO and for India to benefit from it. We'll also provide predictable policy and regulatory environment for private players.
From allowing private players to launch satellites from ISRO to raising FDI limit in defense production to 74%, big bang reforms in strategic sectors seems to be the new mantra for the Modi government to bring COVID-hit economy back on track. With camera person Parminder Sharma, this is Anand Patel in New Delhi for India Today.
Now going over to Maharashtra, which continues to be the worst affected state from coronavirus, with 1,135 deaths and COVID cases now touching the 30,000 mark. A total of 1,606 new cases and 67 deaths were reported in the state in just the last 24 hours, making it the highest ever death toll in a single day in the state. Out of the 1,606 cases, 884 new cases were reported from Mumbai alone. Mumbai reported 41 deaths in 24 hours, making it the highest death toll in the financial capital in a single day. With this jump now, Mumbai coronavirus cases stand at 18,555 and a total of 696 deaths have been reported. Dharavi remains a big concern for authorities as COVID figures in Asia's biggest slum rose to 1,198 and the death toll stands at 53. As of now, over 7,000 patients have been cured of the virus and around 3,30,000 people are under home quarantine. Now, coronavirus is exploding in one of the world's largest slums, Dharavi. Positive cases have crossed 1,100 and 53 people have died so far from the vicinity. Now, controlling the contagion in Dharavi has become a massive challenge for authorities. Social distancing, masks and a lockdown are really far from reality in those narrow lanes of Dharavi, and there's really no space to even quarantine those suspected cases. Our Mumbai Bureau Chief Sahil Joshi and correspondent Mustafa Sheikh gets us the stock of the situation.
Asia's largest slum, where space is a luxury and social distancing unattainable. The pandemic is clutching at the narrow lanes of Mumbai's Dharavi, and the battle has just begun.
Now we are going in Dharavi to check the screening centers, the medical health post set up by the BMC inside Dharavi.
We traveled to a quarantine center inside one of the containment clusters in Dharavi.
There are around, I think, 236 patients right now. What we do is we keep them here for 10 days, and if they are not positive, if they are not found symptomatic or not positive, then we leave them.
क्या लोग आसानी से आ जाते हैं यहाँ पर? क्या बड़ा मुश्किल है?
थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है. कुछ लोग आने के लिए मना करते हैं, बोलते हैं नहीं हमें घर पे ही रुकना है, यहाँ पे नहीं आना है. तो थोड़ा सा समझा के बता के हम लोग वहाँ पे इन्हें लाते हैं.
कोई भाग जाता है,
कुछ भागने को ट्राई करते हैं.
This area where we are at this point of time, this is supposed to be a contaminated cluster. So the lockdown needs to be severe. But as you can see, the lockdown is not as severe as it should be.
Shops are open, people are out on the street. But it is a question of survival that brings them out.
धंधा चालू रखा है, पुलिस लोग आके चिल्लाते हैं बंद करो, तो हम लोग क्या करें? कुछ भी उम्मीद है, जो कोई एक दो आते हैं तो बिक जाता है, तो घर चल जाता है।
So the G North Ward Office have set up around 5 health posts here, and that is where the first person approaches. If they have any symptoms, they go to these health centers, check themselves, and then it becomes the health center's duty to segregate the person who had some symptoms, should be quarantined, and that's how the work happens.
The team of 30 health workers have the responsibility to keep a tab on the entire population of Dharavi.
पॉजिटिव पेशेंट के घर पे जाना पड़ता है, जो पॉजिटिव रहेगा उसको हम लोग ट्रांसकैम्प स्कूल में लाते हैं, फिर वहाँ से एम्बुलेंस आती है, एम्बुलेंस उनको लेके जाती है राजीव गांधी में, जहाँ पे उन लोग को पॉजिटिव पेशेंट को रखा जाता है और उनकी फैमिली उनको हम लोग होम क्वारंटाइन करते हैं। अगर उनके घर में पॉसिबल नहीं है, उनका घर छोटा रहता है, इसके लिए वो रह नहीं सकते, इसके लिए हम लोग उनको यहाँ ट्रांसकैम्प के स्कूल में लाते हैं।
आशा वर्कर का जैसे अभी 3 महीने से पेमेंट भी नहीं आया है, 3 महीने से हम लगातार ऐसे ही काम कर रहे हैं।
So this is what it looks like to be a health post inside Dharavi. Of course, now every one of them will move out for the contact tracing. They have got to know that they have been assigned that there are some people who have been turned positive. So obviously they will have to search for the houses in the periphery where the COVID patient used to live.
But some people, like Ramzan Sheikh, do not know why they are being stamped.
तो अभी आपके हाथ पे जो लगा है उसका क्या मतलब है?
ये मुझे नहीं पता, ये वो लगा दिए।
Ramzan says his father died of a cardiac arrest, but now he's being home quarantined for no reason.
कोरोना वायरस का टेस्टिंग हुआ था?
नहीं हुआ, ये फर्स्ट टाइम हुआ।
The BMC team is asking people to stay at home, but the living conditions in Dharavi do not allow that.
Let's try and give you a look how the typical house within Dharavi looks like. So this is the house, and these many people sleep here every day. आप लोग कहाँ से हैं सब लोग?
हम लोग बिहार से।
हम लोग फॉर्म जमा कर चुके हैं और जब हम लोग ने इसके लिए गए थे चौकी में तो उन्होंने बताया कि 2-4 दिन में आपको फ़ोन आएगा या मैसेज के ज़रिए खबर मिलेगी, तो आप लोग को फ़ोन आने के बाद आप लोग को फ़ौरन तैयार होकर निकलना है यहाँ से। तो बस हम लोग इसी फ़ोन का इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं कि जहाँ वहाँ से कभी भी फ़ोन आए तो हम लोग तैयार हैं निकलने के लिए।
So this is what is the condition in Dharavi, and that's why it becomes really difficult to implement any kind of a lockdown within the Dharavi.
Now, coming back to Delhi, the national capital, a controversy is now brewing over COVID-19 death toll. Are official figures correct or has it been seriously underreported? Milind Sharma brings us a ground report from the national capital.
How truthful is India's COVID stats? Is the government hiding vital COVID numbers from the public? India Today decided to do a reality check. Our investigation brought us to this graveyard, now assigned exclusively to bury COVID victims. We found that till May 11th, 95 people had been buried here. Another coronavirus death was already on its way, raising the total count to 96.
आप कितने लोगों को दफना चुके हैं?
जी मैडम, यहाँ पे हम 95 कल शाम तक 95 हो चुके थे।
कल शाम तक यानी कि ये मई 10 का आंकड़ा है।
हाँ जी, 10 मई तक हम यहाँ पे 95 कर चुके हैं मैडम।
अच्छा, और क्या ये कोविड के मरीज थे या सस्पेक्ट कोविड थे, क्या लिख कर आया था इनकी रिपोर्ट्स पर, डेथ समरी पर?
इसमें कोविड पॉजिटिव भी थे और सस्पेक्ट वाले भी, दोनों हैं ये।
अच्छा,
दोनों मिला के ये 95 है।
96 burials on record. The number of cremations that have taken place is another count. And yet the Delhi government's figure for the entire state as of May 15th is only 123. To reconfirm what we found, India Today also spoke to the chairman of this designated graveyard located at Kotla ITO.
ये आज की फिगर जो है 160 है निगम बोध घाट में, और पंजाबी बाग में भी 80 है। तो 160 एंड 80 तो ये 240 तो यही होगा, दोनों जगह। और 96 हमारे पास है, तो अराउंड 350 का आंकड़ा है दिल्ली का।
कोविड पॉजिटिव
बिल्कुल कोविड पॉजिटिव है, इनका डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस मौजूद है।
India today has also accessed a list of 95 burials that have come from various hospitals in Delhi. We scanned through the hospital documents. All show these cases are COVID-19 deaths. Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain has issued an order that hospitals will be liable if there's a delay in reporting the death figures.
प्रोटोकॉल है, केंद्र सरकार ने भी कहा कि जिसकी डेथ हो गई अगर तुम्हें कुछ शक है तो उसको प्रोटोकॉल ये मानते हुए कोविड मानते हुए दफना दिया जाए या जला दिया जाए। उसके अंदर झगड़ा करने की जरूरत नहीं है। भाई आपको ये लगता है कि 100 में से अगर एक भी कोविड था कि उस एक की वजह से किसी को इन्फेक्शन ना हो, इसलिए मान लिया जाता है, तो उसका मतलब ये थोड़ा कोविड डेथ है।
Now the Delhi government has decided to do away with the column of death figures being given out by hospitals treating COVID patients. And the Delhi government changed the definition of what qualifies to be death from contracting coronavirus. The new Delhi government bulletin states this.
This is the graveyard that shows the reality. Questions now being raised on why there has been under-reporting of numbers from the Delhi government side. Because if this graveyard itself has about 95 dead bodies, then the government's number is way below the mark. With Ajay Thakur, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Now, amid privacy concerns, Arogya Setu app application there continues to be India's Frontline App to track and monitor COVID-19 spread. The government has so far managed to quell privacy concerns, but critics remain undeterred. Here's our report.
Doctors and data entry operators at a prestigious Delhi hospital quickly type in details of a suspected COVID patient onto a special Ministry of Health app before testing. The first mandatory requirement is a mobile phone. As soon as the patient's mobile number is filled in the app, an OTP number is generated. Once that is filled in the app and patient's detail are all on a central server.
App does not allow us to go ahead without the availability of a mobile phone. The mobile phone does not necessarily need to be that of the person himself. Anybody from his family also can give his mobile number. The idea is traceability, and that helps us to ensure that this can be done. As far as this app usage is concerned, it has become mandatory, and it is mandatory across the country.
The app was introduced in the last week of April, and it is now mandatory for every RT-PCR test. All information about the patient is on a Ministry of Health server. It is easier to track the movement of the patient through the mobile phone. Phone location must always be on to enable the functioning of the app.
This app would be very useful to get the patient information, and it would also reduce the use of hard copies, which could be a carrier of infection, and at the same time it would also help to put the data on the ICMR portal on a real-time basis.
It is also mandatory for a doctor's prescription for the RT-PCR test, and also for Indian citizens to fill their Aadhaar number for the test to be conducted. Opposition has also raised privacy concerns which garnered sharp reaction from centre. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said those who have problems with the Arogya Setu app are free to not download it.
मेरा ऐसे महान विभूतियों से एक आग्रह है कि कृपया करके इस डाउनलोड को अपनी राजनीतिक अंग न बनाएं। फिर मैं उनसे कहूंगा आपको नहीं पसंद है मत डाउनलोड करिए, जाइए, हम खतरे से खेलने वाले हैं प्राणी। ये जो बिना मतलब का बाउंड्री खड़ा किया जा रहा है ये ठीक नहीं है। आरोग्य सेतु आपके हित में है, ये सिर्फ आपको सावधान करता है।
However, government sources are tight-lipped on whether the information on the central server will automatically be linked to government's Brahmastra in the war on coronavirus. The Arogya Setu app.
The strict enforcement of app-based RT-PCR testing not only helps the government to real-time collect and collate data on COVID-19 cases, it also helps track those with coronavirus. Not only that, when linked to the Arogya Setu app, it will help ensure that only if you are safe can you travel on public transport, fly, be in metros, or go to malls and marketplaces. With cameraman Kripal Singh in Delhi, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.